Real stories of great robberies. The robbery of the Central Bank of Brazil.
In August 2005, a group of 34 people robbed the Central Bank of Brazil in the city of Fortaleza. They stole $80 million, making it the biggest robbery in the country's history. But what made this robbery so special? The thieves planned it for months and worked very hard. The bank had cameras, alarms, and heat sensors. However, the robbers found a way to avoid them all. They rented a house 73 meters away from the bank and registered it as a fake company that sold artificial grass. This helped them hide their real plans. For 3 months, the gang dug a tunnel from the house to the bank's basement. The tunnel was supported by wooden planks, had lights, fans, and even water pipes. They worked in shifts, day and night, so they wouldn't waste time. The digging was quiet to avoid attracting attention. When the tunnel was ready, the thieves chose the perfect time to rob the bank on a weekend when no employees were working. They entered the basement where the money was stored and began putting it into bags. They packed 330 bags in total, carrying 164 million Brazilian reais. With help from a bank guard who gave them inside information, they avoided cameras and sensors. They used a narrow path along the wall that was not visible on the cameras. By Monday morning, the robbery was complete and the thieves escaped through the tunnel. When the bank employees returned to work, they found a large hole in the floor and immediately called the police. The police quickly found the house where the tunnel started. Inside, they discovered bags of soil and signs of digging. But catching the criminals was not easy. The gang used fake names, false documents, and left the city after the robbery. Clues began to appear over time. The police found a SIM card in the house that led them to one of the suspects. By listening to phone calls, they learned the robbers were scared to use the stolen money because it might make them suspicious. One of the gang's drivers, who transported money, stopped at a police station and revealed that the cars he was carrying were full of cash. This gave the police another lead. The driver said he didn't know about the robbery at first, but grew suspicious when he saw the money. The police started catching the gang members one by one. One of the main suspects, Moises, was arrested 4 years later. He was an expert at digging tunnels and had been involved in other robberies. Most of the gang members confessed, and the police recovered some of the stolen money, around 34 million reais. But most of the money had already been spent, hidden, or stolen by other criminals. The police started catching the gang members one by one. Many of the robbers lived in fear. Other gangs and corrupt police officers were hunting them for their share of the money. Some robbers even turned themselves in to escape danger. One of the gang leaders, named Fernandinho, was kidnapped and killed by other criminals, even though his family paid a ransom. In the end, almost all the gang members were caught, and many received long prison sentences for money laundering and theft. This robbery became the most famous in Brazil's history and inspired other gangs to try similar crimes. It showed that even the most secure banks can be vulnerable to well-organized plans. Now that you've learned about this incredible bank robbery story, let's see how well you remember the details. I have 10 questions for you. Try to answer them in the comments, or just challenge yourself to see how much you noticed. Ready? Let's begin. Question 1. When did the robbery of the Brazilian central bank happen? Question 2. How much money did the robbers steal? Question 3. How many people were involved in the robbery? Question 4. What house did the robbers use to start the tunnel? Question 5. How long did it take to dig the tunnel? Question 6. What security systems did the robbers bypass? Question 7. Which bank employee helped the robbers avoid cameras and sensors? Question 8. How many bags of money did the robbers take? Question 9. How much money did the police recover? Question 10. What punishments did the robbers receive? Write your answers in the comments below. Let's see who gets them all right. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more real, documentary-style stories.